I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. When the horse is accepted into the gates of Troy, the war is finally over. However, that brilliant victory by Odysseus, played by a determined yet vulnerable Matt Damon, is only the start of a long, arduous journey home of battling Cyclopses, witches, and the gods themselves in the Odyssey. But Odysseus might not find Ithaca how he left it, if he returns at all, as his Queen Penelope, played by Anne Hathaway, courts dangerous suitors like Robert Pattinson's devilish Antonius, much to the chagrin of Odysseus' loyal son Temecula, played by Tom Holland. Christopher Nolan has always been a director that valued construction over character, and I'm glad to say that has completely changed with Oppenheimer and The Odyssey, which follows these dazzlingly complex characters who are unable to circle the square of how their actions define who they are. Much like Oppenheimer, the picture is structured like a Russian nesting doll of framing devices that we catch up to as the picture progresses. It similarly shares a dual perspective that editor Jennifer Lame beautifully cuts between. The pace on this picture is just astounding. I can't imagine keeping the momentum up for a story littered with episodes with defined beginnings, middle, and ends is easy, but they make it feel effortless. Hollywood today is littered with special effects that don't feel special, but the ones here do. Whether it be the incredibly clever design of the Cyclops Polyphemus, or, if I figure how the execution is done correctly, the devilish simplicity of Cersei's magic, I bet Rick Baker wishes he hadn't retired when he saw that. Hoyt van Hoytema makes every other cinematographer look lazy in the way he lights frames that look like paintings, and Ludwig Göransson deserves another Academy Award for the twang of Odysseus' bow alone. I was overwhelmed by the excellence displayed on this production. Nolan understands how to make an epic feel so, and part of that is due to the glorious amount of live human extras spread across his wide frames. There is not a weak link in this cast, but I have to call out Himesh Patel as a highlight. I feel like as if I could read his mind with how communicative his body and face were, even without dialogue. But I take all this with a grain of salt, as I relate deeply to the journey of Odysseus, having had to go on my own Odyssey to get back to the land of the living in order to review turds like life itself. Wait, like my documentary, Life Itself? No comment. That movie's great! It was directed by Steve James, the director of Hoop Dreams. You're just as bad as the Academy's documentary branch. But as you've seen my documentary, you know I deeply related to the Odyssey too. And unlike you, I did it while alive. Bravo. Which is exactly what I'm saying to Christopher Nolan about this movie. The way Nolan imbues power into simple objects like he did with the top in Inception has never been stronger than it is here. And I can't believe how casting director John Papsadera found young actors who look strikingly similar to their elder counterparts. While you shouted out some of the excellent special effects, I wanted to call out my favorite. All the dirt rubbed into the actors. You can feel the weight of the journey in the earth under Odysseus' fingernails. This is the first time since Avatar: The Way of Water where I've been completely enraptured by both the story and craft of a picture. 2 thumbs up, way up, for The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan brings swords and sandals back to the big screen in this blockbuster that brings a road trip crazier than anything the Griswolds could rustle up to life.